Welcome back. We're here once again with the programmer of the Rhode Island International Film Festival. This year, it's 23 years that the film festival has been ongoing. Shawn Quirk, welcome back. Now, Shawn, the film festival was founded by George Marshall, who's the executive director, and it's really been flourishing.
It really has. I mean, the festival started in Woonsocket at the Stadium Theater back in the 90s, and since then it's really grown dramatically. Every year it's bigger and bigger, and we're really happy to have Providence as our home. And but we do have screenings still in Woonsocket every year at the Museum of Work and Culture.
Yep, and you also are going to be in RISD and the Vets and the Odeum. And in the past, it's been a PPAC, but there's been they have something that's the big theatrical show happening there. How long have you been on working with the festival and being the programmer?
This will be my 8th festival.
Wow, and you've done a remarkable job. Just the quality of films. One of my favorite nights out of the year is always the opening night festival premiere, because you have a packed house, you have people enjoying all types of films. You know, some of them are, what, 5 minutes long or so, and
they all range. We have the short animations.
Right.
We have the comedies. We have the dramas.
Right.
So,
I mean, I remember, I think it was last year, there was one that was very suspenseful, and you felt it was a documentary, but it wasn't. It was a narrative drama, but it felt like you were a voyeur watching this thing unfold. There was a mother who had left her kids in the car, and she had to go for a job interview, and it was very intense. And then the next minute, you are watching an animated piece that has you roaring in the aisles because it's so much fun and light. I mean, I think that's one of the beauties of your programming. You're almost like a conductor.
It's kind of like that, putting together music in a lot of ways.
Right, right. Can you talk about, I know one of the films you mentioned is called A Christmas Gift?
Yes, so that's one of our opening night films. It's from Romania.
Opening night, okay, Romania, okay.
It's from Romania, and it's about father, son, and wife, and the child writes a letter to Santa Claus.
Oh, yeah.
And he mails it, and the father asks him what he wrote in the letter, what he asked for Santa, and he goes, well, I just wanted to, you know, I asked for a present for everyone. I asked for something for myself, something for Mom, and something for you. And he goes, what'd you ask for me? And he goes, well, I just asked Santa that Uncle Johnny dies.
That Uncle Johnny dies?
Yes.
That's his...
So he writes it in the letter, and the father gets very, very paranoid. Because
why? The father had said something to the...
It was a joke he had said at some point.
Oh,
and,
no.
So now he's paranoid that the government thinks that he's trying to kill somebody.
His own brother.
So, but it's a funny film. It's dramatic. It actually gets it's a range of emotion.
Right.
So it starts as a lighthearted film, and it slowly transitions.
Oh, wow.
But it's a great film about Eastern Europe during the Cold War as well.
Oh, okay. Now, there's another film that stars this actor. He's a character actor named Richard Kind. Now, Richard Kind, if people might not know him by his name, but when they see his face, they'll have seen him in many TV shows and movies. What is the name of that movie that Richard Kind is in?
It's Augie.
Augie.
So it's about augmented reality.
Augmented reality. What does that mean?
It's called an Augie in the movie. It's the brand.
Yep.
And he gets a present as a retirement gift.
Yep.
And it's augmented reality glasses. At first, he thinks they're ridiculous. So he doesn't want anything to do with it, but one night he's bored, he just retired, so he tries them on. And he has this
chaos ensues.
Very amiable, thoughtful, augmented reality person that starts becoming his friend, and he builds a relationship with this person as well. So it causes distance with his wife, of course, and his family.
Oh, it sounds wonderful. Is this a short film?
It's a feature.
Feature film.
Yes.
It's a feature film. And is it from America? It sounds like it's from America.
It's from America, yes.
Right. Do you know where that will be playing yet?
That'll be playing at the Odeum.
At the Odeum.
In East Greenwich.
So that could be a Wednesday or Thursday night.
Yes.
That sounds wonderful. That sounds really like a lot of fun. It's almost like, did you ever see that movie, Her?
It's like Her.
Like it seems like those
Yeah.
Scarlett Johansson and where her voice, he fell in love with her voice.
He did. And this one's like, I mean, it's a little different. He sees her as a person.
Yep.
And she's always there whenever he puts them on. And
it's almost like a comedic version. Remember, did you see the new Blade Runner too?
Yes.
Did you see the new Blade Runner where you had
with the hologram?
The hologram girlfriend, right?
Mm-hmm.
But this is, now he's dealing with that. It sounds wonderful.
It's a fun comedic take on the growing technology.
Yes, wonderful. Now, you don't do this all in a vacuum. There's George. There's yourself. There's Tim Haggerty. There are all the different volunteers and all the support. So how do you guys, what's the process of taking these 6,000 films and calling it down to 295? How does that happen?
Well, we do have a very expansive group of judges.
Yep.
That are composed of alumni filmmakers from the festival. We have professors teaching film. We have festival goers who are just very avid cinephiles who have been coming to the festival for years.
Yep.
Who judge as well. So and filmmakers in the area.
So they're given access.
Yes. To
watch these films, and then like, is there like out of the 6,000, do you then whittle it down to 2,000? What's the process?
Well, the films get rated 1 to 5.
Yep.
And then the 4s and 5s get considered for acceptance.
Okay. And then you get this, like what, 300 films or so, and you figure out, well, okay, I'm gonna, like a chessboard? How do you do that?
Well, it's not always necessarily always picking the best films. It's picking the films that complement one another. Mm-hmm. So it's about finding films that are both well done but also timely and just speak to the world today.
Right.
So and we want to make sure we have all types of work. We want to have the low budget indie film. We want to have the student short, the high school short, and the potential Oscar winner. So it's really a matter of putting together a complex puzzle.
It's a menu of films.
Yes.
Now, you also have, which I think is wonderful, you've got a lot of young filmmakers, student filmmakers, who go to the Kids Eye Camp. Like last week, we were at the Kids Eye Camp. Yep. You had about 40 kids making movies and all this other stuff, different age ranges. Then some of them become interns, right?
They do.
And then you have this youth jury.
Yes.
Talk about that.
So the youth jury is the second component. Kids Eye is 8 to 16. Youth jury is 17, 18, and 19. And so that's a curatorial component. They learn the art of curating, what festival programming is, and they learn how to give awards. Really, it's like what defines a good film, what goes into making a film that's award worthy. And so at the end of the week, they end up choosing their own awards.
I remember,
these jury awards. I
love, like on a Sunday is the awards ceremony at the RISD Museum. And so there's various awards. Part of that is you'll have like 2 rows of young filmmakers, the judges of the youth jury. And they are so excited to see if the film that they chose won. And there's an exuberance. And I think the one thing I love about this festival, many things, but one of the things is just the sense of family. I think it comes from George. I think it comes from you and Tim and the whole team, that you embrace the filmmakers, that once they come here, they're part of that family. They're part of the Rhode Island International Film Festival fabric of culture and art. And they're always welcome back. And it's wonderful.
It's a community that's always growing on a number of fronts.
Yeah.
Because we're looking for new talent in the film industry, but we're also looking for new cultural talent in the cultural industry. Potential people who could move on to work at other film festivals or distribution companies.
Yeah.
And those, we find them and they become our interns, and that becomes a training ground
It is a training
for
ground
the future.
And some of the people that have interned, I've seen them then go into the film industry locally, being very successful. I want to thank you. I want to thank George. I want to thank the entire Rhode Island International Film Festival team. I can't wait until August 6th at the Vets, opening night, running for a week. It's going to be a great year, and I want to thank you so much for putting it all together and being a guest here on Double Feature.
Thanks, Stephen.